Hello, everybody. We're back with the Ushromiya family drama. This is episode 4 or 5 or 6, I don't know. But subscribe because I'm really enjoying this family drama. A new sticker popped up on top of the TV program we were watching. Disaster report told how municipalities all over were continuously sending out rain, flood, and wave warnings. Of course, the harshly beating raindrops on the window were much more convincing. So a typhoon arrived, and the cousins are in the guest house. I didn't forget last episode. Rosa was the worst girl, and George and Jessica also nosedived in the rankings.
でもこれだけ盛大だとすぐにやみそうな気もするけどな。
そりゃ雨ぜ。台風の速度が遅いそうだから下手すりゃ明日も丸一日こんな調子らしいぜ。ちょっとの天気でも船は欠航するもんだしよ。
やっぱり日曜日のうちには引き上げられないか。念のため月曜日に外部とのスケジュールを入れなくて正解だったよ。
ってことは月曜の学校はサボれそうだな。
Oh, you like that, though? You seem like the kind of guy who would skip school.
島生活ってのも悪くないもんだぜ。そういや、ジェシカは登校って毎日船で通ってるわけだろ。
Oh, that's exhausting.
船が欠航したら学校はどうなるんだ。カメハメハ大王並みに雨が降ったらお休みで風が吹いたら遅刻してか。
船が出なきゃ休みになるぜ。もっともそう甘くはねえけどな。大抵その代わりに自習が指示されて後でかっちりと見られるからそうそう気楽でもねえさ。
例えば梅雨なんかの長く天気が崩れる時期だと数日間くらい登校できないこともあるんじゃねえのか。
Yeah, that's true. Guess you can't take the boat every day to school, and if it's raining, even more. I don't know how she does it.
そういうこともあるぜ。でも毎日きっちり担任から電話がかかってきてどう自習しろ何を提出しろと酸っぱく指導されるけどな。
バトラ君が考えてるほど簡単にはサボれないよ。船で通う人たちのルールに従ってしっかり勉強をしているよ。
むしろ登校できた方が気楽だぜ。
Right now we are having online classes because of the thing, but I don't know.
自分の部屋じゃ気が散るし集中もできねえしな。
They're in 1986, right? So
それでいて問題集ばっかり数日もやらされてるとかなり精神的に応えるもんがあるぜ。
no internet in an isolated island, of course.
大学の時にはよ寮のあるところに入ってさっさとこんな不便な島はおさらばしたいもんだぜ。
Yeah.
へえ。じゃあよ、ちなみに行きは天気が良くても帰りは悪くて欠航ってなったらどうすんだ。学校に泊まるのか。
Yeah, that's true. Maybe she gets to spend the night on a hotel nearby.
そういうのはよくあることだぜ。だから祈祷できない人用の宿泊所があってよそこに寝泊まりするんだよ。下手すりゃ数日間家に帰れないこともあったりするぜ。
乗車率が 200% を超えるような満員電車で毎日通勤通学しなければならない人から見てみると船の通学なんて趣があって良さそうだななんて無責任に思っちゃうけど。
Oh, George had that experience then of going to school in an overcrowded train.
やっぱり いろいろと苦労があるんだね。
よく無神経な観光客がそういうこと言ってるぜ。私は島の生活なんてもうお腹いっぱいだね。早く高校出てこんな島とはおさらばしたいぜ。
Yeah, that's pretty inconvenient, I would say. I don't know why Cross is living on this island.
高校にだって全寮制のところとかあったろうよ。なんでわざわざ新島の学校を選んだんだよ。
私は最初からそれを希望してたぜ。でもおふくろがよ、当主跡継ぎとしての修行やらマナーやらがうんぬんってうるさくてよ、結局高校も地元になっちまったのさ。こんな島はごめんだぜ。
She has a pouting face, which is pretty cute, but I don't know. After last episode, I don't like Jessica anymore.
早く都会で生活したいよ。雨が降ろうが槍が降ろうが、ラフな格好でサンダルを履けば5分足らずでコンビニに行けるような都会に引っ越したいぜ。
She needs a lot more to redeem herself after last episode.
もう少しの辛抱だよ。高校卒業まであとちょっとでしょ。
そのちょっとも我慢できねえぜ。
Jessica stretched out and reclined on the sofa. Maybe because now was a bad time slot. There weren't any interesting programs going on, and we had nothing to do but languidly kill time until we were to call for dinner. In the end, Maria had not returned to the cousin's room. Oh. She had probably been brought back to the mansion by Auntie Rosa. That's a lie. Oh no. Is she still on the garden? It had to be pretty boring for Maria, all by herself while the adults are having this confusing conversation. We thought that we might head over to the mansion to see her, but after all, there was this lousy weather. Again with excuses. You don't want to see her face because you felt ashamed that you left her there. You left her with her mom while she abused her. You are all, I don't know. And there wasn't much time until dinner, so we stayed where we were. At that time, we heard the sound of a humble knock. Jessica answered.
Hi!
お食事の準備が整いました。
No, it's Kanon.
お屋敷へお越しください。
It was Kanon-kun's voice. He went to all the trouble of coming from the mansion in this rain just to call us over. Couldn't he have just called us on the telephone? Oh well, maybe sometimes part of a servant's duty is to go against common sense.
なんとなくお腹が空いてきた頃だったしね。
Maybe the typhoon knocked out communications. Another mystery. Another part of the murder mystery is nobody needs to have communications.
行こうか。
George and Nikki turned off the television and stood up.
俺はとっくにペコペコ。本家の晩餐は毎回凝ってるしな。それに郷田さん、子牛のステーキとか言ってなかったっけ？たまらねえぜ。
親族会議の日は特に豪華になるしな。私だって楽しみだぜ。行こう行こ
う。As we left the room, Kanon-kun bowed silently and respectfully.
じゃあ行こうぜ。外の振りはだいぶひどいだろう。
はい。お召し物を濡らさぬよう十分ご注意ください。
After seeing the three of us out, Kanon-kun peered into the empty room.
マリア様はいらっしゃいませんか？
一緒じゃないぜ。ローザおばさんと一緒じゃないのかよ。
Oh no. Don't tell me she's lost. Or she's still in the garden. Oh, Rosa left her there. Left her alone looking for the roses. No, this is the mansion. Rosa. Oh, fuck you, Rosa. We hate Rosa. All my homies hate Rosa. Rosa, lying on a sofa in the empty parlor, had fallen asleep at some point. Oh, you fucking sleeping. Oh my god, no way. She was bearing a burden on her shoulders that the children could never even imagine. Oh. Therefore, when she let herself relax, that exhaustion quickly led her into a world of sleep. So, you got targeted by Cross. You couldn't handle it. So, you went to the rose garden. And then you lashed out at your own daughter repeatedly. And now you're just resting. Realizing this, Genji brought a blanket over to her. And he tried to spread it over her. Her eyes snapped open as though she had received an electric shock. Oh my god, look at her face.
ありがとう。源氏さんなのね。
Could Rosa be the culprit? But no. We're following her point of view. Guess not. When she realized that the thing that had touched her was just a blanket, and that Genji had been considerately giving it to her, she let out a sigh of relief.
起こしてしまいましたか。失礼いたしました。
いえ、いいの。寝るつもりじゃなかったから。今は何時なの?
As for the time, Genji checked the pocket watch that he took out of his chest pocket.
6時を少し過ぎたところです。
Rosa gave her head a little shake as she realized that, even though it had felt like she had slept for a long time, not much time actually had passed. Even though she didn't feel rested at all, the drowsiness that wrapped around her felt very deep.
ありがとう。毛布は結構よ。変な時間に眠っちゃダメね。すっかり時間の感覚が狂っちゃったわ。雨、とうとう降り出したのね。
Yeah, and who did you leave in the rain? Huh? Get those gears working, please, huh? You're her mother, huh? Rosa finally realized that the peaceful sound that had put her to sleep was actually the rain that had started falling. Man, Rosa, you're irresponsible as shit.
いよいよ台風なのかしら。
そのようにテレビでは申しております。遅い台風だそうで。明日いっぱいはこんな調子だそうです。
You're the type of mother to leave her child on another country when you travel abroad.
そう。この素敵なバラ庭園も日中のあれが見納めだったのね。
From the window, what she could see of the rose garden was completely blurred by the wind and the rain.
マリア。
Finally, she's gonna realize it.
そうだ。マリアは?
She's still there in the garden because she has some form of developmental problems. So she stays hyper-focused. Of course. It's obvious. Where the hell do you think she is?
私はお見かけしておりませんが、ゲストハウスにお戻りではないでしょうか。
Oh my god, the music. Oh my. My ears are being blessed by the music of this game. Rosa knew her daughter's nature well. I know her less than 4 hours and I know her better than you. And a chill ran up her back. Maria was stupidly straightforward. The point that stupidly could be repeated 7 times. You're still calling your daughter stupid in your own mind. And if she was ordered to find something that didn't exist, she would look on forever and ever. I'm getting so angry at Rosa once again. Oh my god. Even if rain was pouring down.
違うわ。いとこの子たちは先に行ってしまったから、あそこにはマリア一人。あの子は誰かにもうやめろと言われない限り、たとえ槍が降ってこようとあそこに居続けるわ。
I know Maria well because I was the kind of child like that when I was young. Super hyper focused, not even caring. I wasn't to the extent that Maria is, and I didn't have weird, quirky phrases, but still, I can at least relate a lot to Maria.
傘もささずに。私は感情に任せてなんてことを。
As her mother, she had known about Maria's foolish straightforwardness better than anyone. That she had once again lost control of her emotions and done such a horrible thing. Again, she's calling her daughter foolish in her own mind. You can already see her true feelings about her daughter.
Maria!
Rosa pushed Genji away and ran down the hallway. The outside really looked like a typhoon and was pouring down magnificently. Maybe because of some figure of the train, the winds were not as strong as a typhoon, so an umbrella wouldn't be torn out of one's hand. Even so, it was enough to cause a storm. There was no time to admire the roses being soaked by the rain. So maybe the roses will survive. I don't know. Maybe they will.
まさかあの後もずっと一人でへそ曲げてあそこでバラ探しをしてるなんてことはないよな。
そうだね。さすがにこの雨じゃと思いたいところだけど、マリアちゃんはたまにすごく頑固でものすごく愚直な時がある。
Now George. Okay, George, you're I don't know how to feel about you anymore. We hadn't worried much, thinking that Auntie Rosa had taken her back to the mansion. However, it was concerning that Kanon-kun had thought that Maria was here when he came from the mansion to call us.
お屋敷ではお見かけしませんでしたので、てっきりこちらにおられるとばかり。
What did he say?
ローザ様は仮眠を取られておいででしたので。
ここに来る途中に見かけなかったのかよ。
So Kanon...
申し訳ございません。
Is she not in the rose garden?
傘を差し、急ぎ駆け抜けたもので、そこまでの注意を払いませんでした。
If he had cut through the rose garden, the shortest line between the mansion and the guest house, then he would have missed the place where Maria had been looking for a rose by a little. So, and it was raining this hard too. There was a good chance that Kanon-kun had failed to notice her. So he passed by the garden but didn't see her. Is that what they were saying?
ここで議論するより直接確かめる方が早いさ。兄貴、ちょいとかけっこと行こうじゃねえかよ。
At least Battler takes the initiative.
6年成長したから僕に勝てるつもりかい？
And George comes when he's challenged.
よし、決着をつけようじゃないか。
I already sense that George has some sort of envy towards Battler early on.
行こう。
It feels weird, you know? George and Ikki and I flew into the rain. Yes, Kanon followed us. I mean, guess it makes sense. Because Battler is the most outgoing personality right now. other than his father and maybe, yeah, other than his father and Kyrie, he's the most charismatic person, I would guess. There's also Hideyoshi, but I don't like his brand of charisma.
Rosa おばさんだ。おばさん!
When George and Nikki called back, Auntie Rosa flew at him in what almost amounted to a tackle.
マリアはどこ？ジョージ君たちと一緒じゃないの？
いえ、僕たちはあの後マリアちゃんには出会ってません。
Oh my god. Does she really care about her daughter though? 6 years ago, Maria had been 3 years old. She had been a cute and pure kid, would just accept whatever anyone said. Again with the pure kid, that adjective. Innocent, pure, but 6 years had passed since then. She was 9 now, and experiencing the good and bad parts of life should have taught her something. And yet, she's still just as innocent and pure as she used to be. I guess at least Battler puts it better than the others. Everyone says she's foolish. Battler says she's innocent instead. So he's the better character for that.
Maria!
I'm just finding good points about Battler and bad points about everyone else, and it's kind of strange. As I circled the rose bed, something white unexpectedly turned to face me. It was a white umbrella. I guess it's because Battler made... It's kind of hard to say this, but Battler... I don't know how to say it well. Maria, holding a white umbrella, was crouching, still searching for that rose. Her face, which had turned bright red from her crying her eyes out, was dirtied with water and mud. It was a truly pitiful sight.
お前まだ探してたのか
Oh no, Battler. I was just praising you. But you hear the Japanese pronunciation was omae. That's like you. So he did not say idiots. Maybe if we go by Japanese standards, then George didn't say foolish either. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Maria, I'll let a little secret. I'll let you hear a little secret. It was either Goda who made the rose dessert, or when we first arrived, we saw Shannon, and Shannon was carrying a wheelbarrow, and after we left, he was still in the rose garden. So right now, I'm thinking of 2 suspects for your rose. Or 3 suspects. Goda, who made the rose dessert. Kanon, who was still in the Rose Garden after we left in the first episode, after we were introduced to him, or the wind. It was the typhoon, or I don't know. But I'm guessing either probably Goda by accident. Maria had probably been here since the rain had started pouring down. It looked like her shoulders were freezing. So you can kill both Kanon and Goda for that, Maria. I won't join you. She looked tired to the bone, but unfortunately, since she was holding an umbrella, she was not completely soaked. It was probably an umbrella from the handbag that Maria was always walking around with. Thank goodness. Seriously, thank goodness. Man, Battle is such a good guy.
バトラ君、よかった。見つけたんだね。
He's only 18 and already has a better head on his shoulders than George has. Auntie Rosa threw her own umbrella away and hugged Maria.
Oh, ない。マリアの柄がない。後でママも一緒に探してあげるから。
Please apologize for hitting your daughter. Please apologize for that. Please. Can you do this one favor one time? Please.
だから今日はお預けにしなさい。ねえ。今日はお預け。
It looked like Maria still wasn't able to accept it, but she no longer had enough energy left to resist. Jessica and Kanon caught up with us.
すぐにお屋敷でタオルの用意をさせましょう。
マリア、ずっとここにいたのか。ごめんね。本当に悪いままで。
Yes, thank goodness. Oh my god.
ローザおばさん、
Never do this again,
とりあえず
please.
お屋敷に行きましょう。このままじゃマリアちゃん風邪をひいちゃう。
そうね。マリア、行きましょう。ちゃんときれいにしないとおじい様に怒られちゃうわよ。
Kinzo already hates her. She says she's obscene to the eye.
お腹すいた。もう食事の時間だぜ。マリアはよく頑張ったよ。
Kinzo is a fucking prick.
天気が良くなったら私たちも一緒に探してやるから。
And finally Jessica says something to Maria. Oh my god, Jessica. We couldn't stay in the rain forever. We took Maria with us as we headed back to the mansion. At least make her bathe afterwards so she doesn't get a cold. Please. Oh my god. Maria apparently wasn't as weak as I had thought. When she remembered that dinner was calf steak, she started chanting, "I'm hungry, hungry, ooh," and returned to her usual healthy self. At least get her a pair of fresh clothes. Auntie Rosa didn't chide Maria on her ooh anymore.
そっか、傘を持っていたのか。さすがマリアは物持ちがいいぜ。マリア、傘なんか持ってない。
なんだよ。じゃあその手に持ってる白い傘はどうしたんだよ。
Oh no.
貸してもらった。
It seemed that some caring person had brought her an umbrella. Oh no. A normal girl would look for shelter once it started raining. But there was no way Maria's stubbornness would be broken by something like that. So maybe that person gave up, recommending that she find shelter. At least brought an umbrella for her.
そう、その人にお礼を言わないとね。誰？ベアトリーチェ。
Fucking knew it. The name that Maria mentioned very happily was that of the island's witch. Rosa took a deep breath and asked again, trying to avoid hurting Maria's feelings now that she was happy.
そう、よかったわね。
Does Beatrice exist?
それで誰なの？
I'm thinking that Jessica is very similar, but
傘を持ってきてくれた人は。おお、ベアトリーチェ。
Maria who quickly picked up that her mother didn't believe her, made an angry face once again. So Rosa stopped pursuing the subject. It looked like it would be faster to ask a person who had lent Maria the umbrella during dinner rather than ask Maria herself.
Otou-san! せめて晩餐にだけは出席してください。これでは親族会議になりません。
Along with the door pounding on the door, the sound of crosses entreaty could be heard. However, that voice seemed to harbor a sense of resignation, that its sounds would not reach its intended ears.
Kinzo-san.
Oh, Nanjo is inside.
せめて夕食くらいは出んかね。
I thought only Genji and Kanon last episode could go in.
あんたの顔を見ようと息子さんたちが集まってきてるんじゃないか。
黙れ南條、ビショップが聞かぬか。言って足りぬ。
Apparently, Kinzo was completely focused on the final battle of his long-lasting chess match with Nanjo. His brow wrinkled. He continued to glare at the game board through his spectacles. Cross's voice didn't reach his ears. So Kinzo uses glasses.
Kinzo-san, 私も腹が減った。下に降りて食事をせんか。
ならばお前だけで行くといい。私はもうしばらくこの一手を吟味させてもらうぞ。今夜で決着をつけてやる。さもなくばお前との決着は金輪際つけられそうにないからな。
Nanjo stood up from his seat, hoping this would prompt Kinzo to do the same, but Kinzo's eyes nevertheless left the chessboard. He knew well that Kinzo always displayed a blind concentration when it came to chess, but he had never seen Kinzo as focused as he was now. Again, the parallels with Maria and Kinzo grow. Both like black magic, both are hyper-focused on something. He was acting almost as though, just as he had said, the game wasn't finished tonight. There would never be another chance for them to continue their contest. Further attempts to persistently call him would surely not reach his ears, his heart. Nanjo gave up and headed to the door that Cross was still banging on. The door to the study opened. Cross took a step back. Surely Kinzo hadn't actually come out. But it was Nanjo who stood at the door. Cross breathed a sigh of relief. Dude, you're afraid of your old ass father. Oh my god.
南條先生、親父殿は
お役に立てなくて申し訳ございませんな。今や金蔵さんの世界はこの部屋だけです。
Nanjo, at this age you should be caring, not being afraid. Even if he was an abusive dad who manipulated everyone to whatever thing he wanted. Kinzo is surely toxic at this age. Was he a bad father as well? I'm thinking he is, because he always criticizes his children. And he says none measure up to his blood. Even though, I don't know. Cross raised his fist once more. Maybe I'm just projecting what I think, what I'm rationalizing towards the characters without actually seeing everything play out. I do this a lot. I just project things because I already know much about the stereotypes of characters in writing, so I already know what they are going to be like.
お父さん、聞こえますか？私たちは下へおりますが、気が向かれたらいつでもおいでください。
For example, I already know that Nanjo is going to be Nanjo is going to be an accomplice because he's the doctor in a murder mystery. Never trust doctors. Always check things by yourself in murder mysteries. That's the first rule. Always check things by yourself. Never trust other people's opinions.
息子兄弟一同、ずっとお待ちしておりますよ。
Unless the main character rationalizes something, then you can't take things at face value. The voice was very loud, and the door was being noisily pounded on. There was no way that it wouldn't reach Kinzo's ears. It was reaching him. However, he was ignoring it anyway. Dude, Kinzo is going to die in this room, and people are going to realize it tomorrow, and it will be a locked room. Nanjo is going to say that he died of natural causes, and the perfect room mystery is created. Fucking pathetic that you're going to die like this, Kinzo. However, unlike the time he was being called for lunch, he did not get into a rage. Kinzo was now simply calm at heart. It was almost as though he had attained peace by turning himself over to fate. Does he know he's going to die?
晩餐にも息子たちの顔にも興味はない。私がここを出るのはベアトリーチがよみがえる時か、私が鍵の生贄に選ばれた時だけだ。
Nanjo isn't it. Genji isn't it. The mastermind is one of the siblings. I am thinking it's going to be Ava, followed by Rudolph, followed by Rosa. Those are the three main suspects to be the masterminds. One of them already found the gold and wants to kill the others. That's my opinion.
もう悪魔のルーレットは回っている。今さら晩餐に何の意味があろう。
As though the painfully loud banging on the door had completely failed to enter his hearing. Kinzo, in a state of total peace, silently thought about his next chess move. Just as always, Kinzo was the only one missing from the dining hall. Cross, wearing a bitter smile, returned with Nanjo.
親父殿は相変わらずご気分が優れられないそうだ。年に一度の親族が集まるこの機会に同席できないことを非常に残念がられておられた。
Eva and Rudolph snickered. Judging by Kinzo's character, he didn't regret it at all. And none of his relatives regretted that he hadn't appeared either.
ではディナーを始めようじゃないか。ゴーダ、始めたまえ。
かしこまりました。
Oh my god, I've forgotten how creepy Goda's face actually is.
それでは始めさせていただきます。
Upon finally being told to begin the family conference dinner, his highlight scene for the whole year, Goda nodded, grinning broadly.
マリアに傘を貸してくれた人は誰かしら?
It was Beatrice. When Rosa timidly cut through the silence of the dining hall, everyone there turned their attention to her at once.
傘? 何の話?
Eva was the one that answered first.
さっきマリアがバラ庭園にいた時に雨が降り出して誰かに白い傘を借りたみたいなんだけど、お礼が言いたくて。
俺たちじゃねえぜ。ローザが出てった後は部屋を移してずっと仲良くおしゃべりをしてたからね。
So it wasn't Eva.
はは、そうやで。
I'm casting too much doubt.
あの後も兄弟で仲良くおしゃべりをしとったのや。
Word friendly fell awkwardly from Hideyoshi's lips, so that even those that hadn't been there realized that it hadn't been a pleasant conversation at all.
少なくとも私とエヴァとルドルフと、あと秀吉さんとキリエさんではないことも確かだがね。
私たちは夏日姉さんとローザさんが出て行った後もずっと一緒だったわ。食事の時間までずっとね。兄さんは源氏さんと一緒にお父様を呼びに上の書斎へ。私たちはそのまま食堂へ直行したもの。だから私たちではないわね。傘を貸すなんて親切。使用人の誰かじゃないの？
Dude, you don't have a shred of sympathy for your own niece?
じゃあ、ゴーダさん？
私はずっと厨房で準備をしておりましたもので。
No alibi.
申し訳ございません。
Goda looked slightly disappointed about missing the chance to show off. No alibi for Goda. At this time, Shannon and Kumasawa appeared, but it couldn't be Goda because Maria said it was Beatrice, so it had to be a woman. At the time, Shannon and Kumasawa appeared, pushing a serving cart loaded with hors d'oeuvres. I don't know what it's that.
じゃあ、熊沢さんかシャノンちゃんかしら。
Yeah, definitely.
何か粗相がございましたでしょうか?
Shannon shrunk, mistakenly thinking that she was being accused of making some error, having come in part way.
違うよ。マリアちゃんがバラ庭園に一人でいた時に雨が降ってきてね。誰かが傘を貸してくれたんだよ。ローザおばさんがその人にお礼を言いたいって言うのさ。
You better thank the wind, because it was Beatrice.
Beatrice.
No. I believe you, Maria. I believe you. It was Beatrice. Maria, her mouth a thin line, said the witch's name in a small voice. Auntie Rosa explained the situation one more time. As she did, Kumasawa-san cackled.
私たちでもございませんよ。私もシャノンさんも一緒にお部屋の準備をしておりましたから、お外には出ておりません。
はい、気が利かなくてすみません。
What was the time between you meeting?
とは何のことかね。
この雨ですから
客人の皆さんがゲストハウスにお帰りになられるのも大変かと思って、使用人たちに屋敷内の客室の準備をするように命じたのです。
It couldn't be Kumasawa or Shannon because they each check each other's alibi.
あら、気が利くじゃない。
Couldn't be one of the siblings, but it could be Natsuhi because she wasn't.
そうね。この雨の中、表に追い出すのは失礼だものね。
もう予算か。
はい。奥様からそのようにご指示を受けまして、私と熊沢さんとカノン君の3人で準備をしておりました。そして、ご夕食の時間になり、源氏様からゲストハウスのお子様方をお呼びするようご指示をいただいたため、カノン君が言ってくれたのです。
ええ。ですから、カノンさんがゲストハウスに行かれるときに、マリアさんを見つけて、傘をお渡ししたのではありませんか？
ほー。
The wind.
違う。
I mean, the sound effects are still a little bit too loud. They're interrupting the voice for me. The person who had actually received the umbrella denied it. Rosa was troubled. All she wanted to do was give a word of thanks to the person who had lent the umbrella, but she couldn't find them. I thought that asking like this with everybody gathered for dinner would work out immediately.
じゃあ、夏日姉さん？
Yeah, she does.
ごめんなさい。私は皆さんとの仲良くの語らいの後、頭痛がひどかったので、自分の部屋で休んでいました。ですから、表へは出ていません。
She doesn't have an alibi. Goda doesn't have an alibi.
なら、誰なの？ジョージ君たち？なわけないわよね。
No, we check each other's alibi.
いえ、僕たちじゃありません。僕たちはずっとゲストハウスでテレビを見てました。
むしろ私たちは、マリアはおばさんと一緒に屋敷に行ったとばかり。
そこへカノン君が来て、マリアは一緒じゃないのかと聞いたんで、初めて屋敷にはいないのかって分かったんだよ。第一俺だったら、傘を貸すより先に、手引っ張って屋根の下に連れて行くぜ。
Rosa was completely baffled. One by one, the relatives and the servants were claiming it wasn't them, even though it wasn't something anyone would need to hide. That, by process of elimination, the number of people it could have been wasn't large.
もちろん、私でもありませんが、雨が降り始めてすぐの頃、金蔵さんの部屋を訪ねて、ついさっきまで一緒にチェスをしておりました。
ということは、おじい様でもないよね。
なんだなんだ、妙な話になってきたぜ。
Was weird by the time she said Beatrice.
あと残るのは誰だ？
じゃあ、誰？源氏さん？ちょっと待って。勘違いしないでくれる？別に、私は何かの犯人探しをしてるんじゃないのよ。雨の中のマリアに傘を差し伸べてくれた人に、母としてお礼が言いたいだけなの。
I have a theory. Oh. Giving an umbrella to a girl loitering in the rain was something to be praised, not hidden. Despite that, no one raised their hand. Why? Everyone started whispering how strange this has gotten.
落ち着けよ、ローザ。傘を借りた本人に聞けばいいじゃねえか。
An idea that everyone would agree makes sense. They were all scratching their heads at why she didn't just ask Maria, who had been given the umbrella. However, Rosa bit her lower lip. After all, she already knew how Maria would answer if asked.
どうりや。ルドルフ君の言う通りやないか。マリアちゃん、おじさんに教えてえな。マリアちゃんに傘を貸してくれたのは誰や？
Beatrice. Ooh. The dining hall was wrapped in silence for an instant, but that soon broke, and it was wrapped in laughter.
なるほど。森の魔女ベアトリーチェが不憫に思って傘を貸してくれたか。 いい話じゃないかね。ローザ、そういうことだ。
Rosa didn't seem satisfied. She just wanted to say thanks for the umbrella. Why did everything have to be so clouded in smoke?
クラースおじさんの言う通り、ベアトリーチェが貸してくれたの。
それはよかった。無垢だというのは実に羨ましいことではないか。なあ、諸君。
Are you laughing at her? Cross was laughing with a face that was clearly mocking her. Maria, apparently feeling that her claim was being believed, was overjoyed. You're mocking a little child. For shame.
一体どうなってんだ?
Cross, again taking a nosedive.
まさか本当に魔女が現れて傘を貸したってのかよ。
Jessica asked me in a small voice that wouldn't carry over to Maria, who's sitting across from me.
マリアって冗談が言えるタイプだっけ?
If we had heard that kind of story pop up out of the old bastard's mouth, we had just taken it as another joke. However, coming from Maria's mouth, it became somewhat inexplicable, strangely unsettling. I mean, Kinzo doesn't crack jokes either, so he's just completely insane. That's the problem.
いや、昔から愚直なぐらい正直で真面目だよ。普通なら聞いただけで嘘とわかるような冗談すら鵜呑みにするタイプだぜ。マリアから冗談を言い出すなんて聞いたこともない。
Auntie Rosa probably knew that better than anyone else. It appeared that because of this weird situation, she had no idea what was going on either.
じゃあ、マリアがベアトリーチェに傘を借りたと言ったなら、それは間違いなくベアトリーチェなのか。
マリアに関してだけは何かの比喩とか冗談とかそういうことは考えられねえぜ。
I mean, Jessica could wear clothes that resemble the picture and go give her an umbrella. Maybe we're looking at this wrong. Maybe maybe Maria borrowed the umbrella way before the rain started. That could be one big reveal. But where?
額面通りの意味だと思うべきだろうよ。
Maybe.
じゃあなんだよ。源氏さんあたりがあの肖像画のごついドレスを着てマリアに傘を持って行ってやったっていうのか。
I'm saying that Jessica could do it, but not when it was raining. Maybe even before. Maybe not even in this year.
そんなことは知らねえぜ。私が聞きたいくらいさ。
Because borrowed is a loose definition. Jessica shrugged jokingly, but her expression wasn't completely joking. Once the hors d'oeuvres were set out and Goda showed off his vast store of knowledge, the meal began. A couple casual chats broke out here and there, but they seemed somehow distant. It was a quiet dinner, granting no respite from the intrusive sound of rain that was creeping into the dining hall. Things are getting very creepy. Masawa and Shannon, pushing the serving cart, ran into Genji and Kanon on their way to the kitchen.
genjiさんですか? マリア様に傘を貸されたのは。
傘?
I have another theory.
何のことだ?
はい。雨が降り出した時に、マリア様は一人でバラ庭園におられたそうで、そこでどなたかに傘をお借りになったそうなのですが、それがどなたかわからないのです。
僕じゃないよ。マリア様は ゲストハウスにいると思ってたくらいだからね。
Yeah, I have another theory.
バトラ様が最初に見つけられた時にはもう白い傘をお持ちだった。
申し訳ないが、
じゃあまさか親方様でしょうか。
申し訳ないが、それは私でもない。
Kinzo was playing with Nanjo. Everyone in both the dining hall and the place where they were standing now had stated it wasn't them, which meant that only Kinzo was left, but...
何かのご用で廊下を歩かれているとき、偶然バラ庭園に傘もささないマリア様が見えたとか。
親方様はマリア様のことをあまりお好きではない。
He doesn't like anyone from his family.
同感だね。親方様がマリア様のために直々に開花までお越しになって傘をお持ちくださるとは考えられないよ。
あら、困りましたわね。ではマリア様に傘をお貸しになられたのは本当にベアトリーチェ様ってことに？
Yeah, for now, let's go with that. Masala laughed. Just like all the relatives in the dining hall had left it off. He couldn't think of any other way to break through the smoke veiling the current situation. Just then, the crisp sound of hands clapping twice rang through the hallway. Oh man, you're so creepy. They all turned around at once to see that it was Goda who was coming out of the dining hall.
さあさあ皆さん、ディナーは配膳のタイミングも大事です。すぐにスープの配膳に取り掛かってください。源氏さん、彼女らは大切なお仕事中ですので、お引き止めになられないでください。
Kanon doesn't like Goda. Kanon glared at Goda for being rude to Genji, a person Kanon respected. Genji, realizing this, patted Kanon once on the shoulder, as if to warn him. Kanon reluctantly turned away, returned his expression to normal.
ゴーダの指示に従いなさい。今は晩餐の配膳を急ぐように。
ほらほら、時間がありません。タラタラしない。急ぎますよ。
Goda grabbed the serving cart from Shannon and drove it past her, and towards the kitchen at a pace.
では、私どもも厨房に戻らせていただきます。ゴーダさんも気の短い方ですからね。
私もこれで失礼いたします。
Kumasawa and Shannon left. Only Genji and Kanon remained. Through the window, the darkness of the rainy night could be seen, along with the occasional thunderbolt.
源氏様、ベアトリーチェ様が本当にお戻りになられたのでしょうか。
Man, the music.
わからん。
親方様にお知らせしますか。
I need more music.
せずともよい。本当にお戻りになられたなら、やがておのずと親方様の前へ現れよう。
Too loud. I'm sorry. I don't. But there is good.
それに、あれは気まぐれなお方。親方様にご報告申し上げたところで、お姿を現されないことには何の意味もない。
親方様の儀式はすでに始まっているということでしょうか。
おそらく。だがそれは我ら家具には何の関わりもないこと。
Again with furniture, again with the magic system between quotes. I don't know.
親方様に受けたご恩を最後の瞬間までお返しするのみ。
Still too loud. What are they saying? Until our final moments. There are slaves. The thunder crashed once more. Except for that instant when the lightning lit up the sky, all that could be seen out of the window was the darkness of the night. Just as humans rule when the sun was up, time when the sun is down is ruled by those that are not human. The darkness of the night that now surrounded Rokkenjima was ruled not by the Ushurumiya family, but by another master, Beatrice, the Lady of the Forest. This master take pity on Maria when she was alone and pummeled by the rain in the rose garden and lent her an umbrella. Ken looked at the rose garden's lights, dimly visible beyond the window. Dim lights were not enough to illuminate the surrounding area. Looking at those lights felt like making eye contact with the witch, and Kanon forcibly averted his gaze. If he didn't, it felt like his eyes would be absorbed by that light. Is this a... elements in this visual novel? As I said before, Higurashi had Hanyu, had the fragment worlds, and had the looping powers. Maybe Umineko has something as well. Perhaps the weather was also a factor. I mean, Kinzo keeps alluding to it constantly. You often hear stories about how things like atmospheric pressure can influence people's moods and physical health. For some time now, everyone had been making periodic attempts to clear the gloomy atmosphere, but any conversation was quickly cut off, and in the end, the dining hall was simply buried by the sound of the rain. Dessert was some kind of chocolate cake, accompanied by pure sherbet. Chocolate cake is my favorite dessert of all time. Goda-san enthusiastically explained the recipe as if delivering the coup de grace, but I quickly forgot the details. The guest of honor, grandfather, was absent. The weather was horrible, and the person who had lent Maria the umbrella was still a mystery. Isn't the guest of honor you, Battler? I mean, you have been away for 6 years. When dinner ended, no one felt even one bit refreshed. It was too late now, but I realized painfully that taste wasn't the only important part of a meal. The whole atmosphere was also critical. Goda-san, the supposed conductor of this performance called dinner, did his best to enliven the place, dropping little jokes left and right, but it seems they didn't quite get there. After taking orders for after-dinner coffee, tea, and orange juice, he left for the kitchen. As soon as he disappeared, Uncle Cross spoke.
やれやれ。せっかくゴーダが腕を振るってくれた晩餐も、こうも沈み込んでしまっては実に味気ないというものだ。
まったくね。
Ava has that tattoo. I saw that earlier, that Shannon also had a tattoo on her thighs.
今日は何を食べても美味しく感じられない、そういう気分よ。
ほう。
Are the women of the family branded? But Shannon is not the family, right? So does Rosa And Maria and Jessica have a tattoo as well, or only Ava and Shannon.
どうしてそういう気分なのか聞きたいね。
Because I didn't see any of it on the men's side. Maybe because they're so dressed, it's hard to see.
心が晴れ晴れできるよう、兄として後で協力させて
It'd
も
be
らう
cool
よ。
if everyone is tattooed. Auntie Eva grimaced slightly. I had already heard that she was not on good terms with Uncle Cross. Now I could clearly feel it. And I looked around. I noticed that my dad and Auntie Rosa were also grimacing. Oh, he's putting salt on the wound. Anyhow, it looked like there was something besides the weather that was troubling all of them.
エヴァおばさんもうちの親父もずいぶん機嫌が悪そうっすね。
そう？私はそうは思いませんよ。
I asked Aunt Natsuhi, who was sitting on my right. It looked like she was also in a bad mood. Yeah, I feel sorry for Natsuhi. She snapped back, as though she was absolutely not interested. Yeah, after having to confront Ava and then being thrown under the bus by your own husband, that feels very shitty.
まあちょいと大人な話で込み入ってな。バトラ君たち子供は気にせんでええ話や。なあ夏日さん、桐江さん。
Uncle Hideyoshi laughed as he spoke, without his usual brightness. So I could only vaguely imagine just how complicated their adult conversation had actually become. On top of that, even Aunt Natsuhi and Kyrie-san, the people he had directed his comment to, ignored him, as though they hadn't heard a thing. I didn't know what kind of conversation they had been having while we kids were away. But if I remind me of how Dad had said he had stomach cramps when we arrived at the mansion. The family conference might have been a playful reunion to us kids, but it was definitely different for the adults. After Uncle Hideyoshi was ignored by the other adults, an awkward silence fell over the room. Kyrie-san spoke up.
子供たちの進路はどうなるのかしらとか、そういう話よ。バトラ君は将来はどうするの？ぼんやりと大学進学？そんなのじゃ長い人生レースのスタートラインとしては心細いわよ。
I mean, college isn't bad. You know.
あいたたたたたた。桐江さん、飯の最中にそんな話されちまったら、消化不良で便秘になっちまうぜ。
そうやそうや。バトラ君やジェシカちゃんの進路の話をしとったんや。将来のことは真剣に考えんとあかんで。
Hideyoshi heartily agreed, as if they really had been talking about that, but they probably hadn't. Kyrie-san had always been trying to avoid talking about something. However, if Kyrie-san had been determined that this was the best course of action for now, then she was probably right. Taking this into account, I decided to cast aside my suspicions as to the cause behind Auntie Eva and Dad's bad moods. You should think about it. At long last, the serving cart returned, filled with coffee and tea. Masao-san and Shannon-chan served it to everyone. Yoda-san then explained that with us, tonight's dinner was over. If I had been able to eat a more cheerful mood, it might have been the best dinner of my life. It's a shame that this greatest of dinners couldn't have been had under the greatest of conditions.
ジョージお兄ちゃん、これでご飯は終わり？
うん。これでおしまいだよ。
はしてないわよ。お席について、落ち着いてジュースを飲みなさい。
Maria looked like she was really excited about the occasionally crashing thunder. Maybe she wanted to quickly finish eating and run over to the window. She had been finishing for a while, waiting for the meal to end. Some people are afraid of thunder, while others find it interesting. Maria was apparently one of the latter. So when she heard from George and Nikki that dinner was over, a huge smile broke across her face. Then stood from his seat, took out her handbag, which she had set under her seat, never having left it even while she was eating, and began fishing around inside it. No one seemed particularly concerned with his behavior.
なんだい？それはどこから持ってきたの？
George was the first to notice it. As he spoke, Badler also noticed. When they looked, they noticed that Maria was now holding a beautiful Western-style envelope. I'm rubbing my hands right now. There was the riddle, now this. On the front of the envelope, the Ushurmia family crest, the one-winged eagle, was done in gold leaf. Wow. Furthermore, it was sealed with dark red wax, imbuing a level of class upon it that made it clear that this was not something that Maria should be carrying around for fun.
Maria-chan, それは何?
It seemed that Natsuhi also noticed the strangeness of the envelope that Maria was holding. Because her voice sounded too serious to be admonishing a small child, the other relatives around her finally noticed.
どうしたよ、夏日姉さん。
それ、何？マリア、あなた、それをどこで拾ったの？
その封筒は。
Oh.
その封筒は。Kinzoさんの?
As Nanjun wondered that, even us kids could understand why everyone seemed so frozen solid. The envelope that Maria held was one of the Ushurmia family head's custom-made envelopes for private use. In other words, it could only mean one thing. This envelope contained a message from Kinzo. Let me drink some water. Hmm.
どうしてそんな封筒がここにあるんだね。
こいつは面白いもんが飛び出してくるぜ。
ちょいとわしに見せてみ。ダメ。マリアが読むの。マリアがみんなに読んで聞かせなさいって言われたの。
This is bad. Uncle Hideyoshi tried to snatch the envelope out of Maria's hands, but she protected it as though hugging it and wouldn't let go.
秀吉兄さん、子供相手に力ずくなんていけませんよ。マリアちゃん、その封筒はどうしたの？
The tension is rising.
傘を貸してくれた時にベアトリーチェにもらった。
Fucking knew it.
ご飯が終わったらマリアがみんなに読んで聞かせろって言われた。
She told me to read it to everyone after the meal was over.
マリアは魔女のメッセンジャーなの。
メッセンジャー？この島の魔女様は随分と洒落てるじゃねえかよ。
Yeah, she sure does. Adler tried to joke about it, but no one actually went along with him.
それで中には何て書いてあるのかしら、マリアちゃん。
Maria casually opened the envelope. It was sealed only with wax, so she had just to remove the sealing wax to open it. The sealing wax fell onto the desk. Hideyoshi hastily picked it up and stared fixedly at it. He then set it to the center of the table, where Natsuhi, Kirie, and Nanjo glared at it. Imprinted there was the sealing wax that was the one-winged eagle, which was the Ushurmia family crest and also Kinzo's personal crest.
これは当主様の紋章？
私は金蔵さんに手紙をもらったことがあるからわかる。これは間違いなく金蔵さんの風浪だ。
でもこのお屋敷にはそれと同じ紋章がいくつもあるのでは？例えば風浪用のハンコのようなものがあれば金蔵さんでなくても風浪はできるのでは？
いや、金蔵さんは風浪には必ず自分が指にしている後ろ宮家当主の証の指輪で刻印をする。この形や複雑な意匠は間違いなく金蔵さんの風浪だ。
Didn't he throw the ring away?
そうとは限らんよ。親族であれば一度くらいは親父の手紙を受け取ったことはあるはずだ。その風浪をもとに偽の紋章を作り、親父殿を語って刻印した可能性が否めない。
兄貴に同感だ。風浪に刻印されている紋章がどれだけ親父のものに酷似していたとしても間違いなく親父のものであるとは証明不能だぜ。
They need to ask him, but he'll be already dead.
だからその
私も全く同じよ。
兄貴に同感だ。風浪に刻印されている紋章がどれだけ親父のものに酷似していたとしても間違いなく親父のものであるとは証明不能だぜ。
風浪の刻印だけでお父様の手紙だなんて決めつけることには同意できないわ。
So, by this time, Kinzo will already be dead. So they can't verify with the man himself. That's what's going to lead to, right?
南條先生、
Right.
曖昧な言葉は慎んでいただけるかしら。
これは失礼。出過ぎた口でしたな。
One after another, all the siblings from Cross downwards rejected Nanjo's statement, saying that the envelope that Maria was holding had not necessarily been sent by Kinzo. They were afraid Kinzo's intentions were written in there, and they feared from the bottoms of their hearts that it might be some decidedly unfavorable announcement regarding the inheritance.
マリア、その封筒は傘を貸してくれた人がくれたのね。じゃわからないでしょ。
I think one of the siblings picked it up. Might have been Rosa. Oh, but Maria wouldn't misrecognize her own mother, would it? Would her? Would she?
そうなの？
つまり魔女ベアトリーチェが傘と一緒にマリアちゃんにその封筒を。
Well, then there goes my theory of the umbrella being given earlier on because you need the ring. But maybe Kinzo himself wrote it. No, that doesn't make sense. I don't know. He doesn't like Maria. Maria nodded forcefully. Or maybe he intentionally says he doesn't like Maria, but he gave her that envelope a year back, along with the umbrella. Could that be it? Could I be onto something here? Because both love black magic, and Kinzo has black magic books. So, I don't know. Maria nodded forcefully.
主人に私も同感です。得体の知れない何者かが手渡した怪文書です。読むにも値しません。
せめて読むくらいいいじゃねえかよ。
Adler said it to Jessica in a small voice, pretending to stir things up, but Natsuhi heard him clearly and glared at him with threatening eyes.
それでマリアはベアトリーチェに食事が終わったら読めって言われたんだな。
いいじゃないの皆さん。これはおじい様の封筒ではなくベアトリーチェの封筒。誰が書いたのかはともかく中身を聞いてからの判断でもいいんじゃないかしら。
Yeah, because...
そうやな。お父さんが書いたとは限らんが、中身が気になるんは事実や。マリアちゃん、さっきは無理やり取ろうとしてすまんかった。謝るからみんなの前でそれ読み上げてくれんか。
マリア、読みなさい。
Maybe Rosa, maybe Kinzo. I don't know. I have another theory, but I don't know if that's maybe correct or not, as all the relatives stare fiercely at Maria. She spread the letter open with a rustle.
本当に親父の手紙だと思うか？
ありえんね。親父殿が私たちに何かを発表するときは直接でなければいつだって源氏さんを通してじゃないか。このようなこじゃれた方法でするとは思えんね。
Is the letter going to be a message from Kinzo?
そうよ。マリアをメッセンジャーに？それこそお父様の趣味じゃないわよ。ローザ、これはマリアちゃんが私たちを脅かそうという何かの隠し芸なんでしょ？
マリアはそんな気の利いたことができる子じゃないわ。
The clock again. The words came out of Maria's mouth, but for some reason it felt like her voice was different than usual. It didn't seem so weird. Everyone went suddenly silent.
六軒島へようこそ、後宮家の皆様方。
Oh, I'm sorry. That was completely out. Oh my god. Okay, that was completely different.
私は金蔵様にお仕えしております、当家顧問錬金術師のベアトリーチェと申します。
Alchemist, aren't you a witch?
そんなアホな。
黙って。
長年にわたりご契約に従いお仕えしてまいりましたが、本日金蔵様よりその契約の終了を宣告されました。
Is she being possessed by something? Or maybe she is like Rika, who is very older than she seems to be.
よって本日をもちまして、当家顧問錬金術師のお役目を終了させていただきますことをどうかご了承くださいませ。
くだらん。ざれ言だ。
聞くに耐えません。
さてここで皆様に契約の一部をご説明しなければなりません。私ベアトリーチェは金蔵様にある条件とともに莫大な黄金の貸与をいたしました。
And the music.
その条件とは、契約終了時に黄金のすべてを返還すること。
Oh, one of the siblings wants all the gold.
そして利息として後宮家のすべてを頂戴できるというものです。
むちゃくちゃや。
Everything. Oh.
初めっからむちゃくちゃだぜ。
要するにあれだろ、よくある悪魔の契約みたいなやつなんだろ。
Along with Kinzo.
ほんで契約がおしまいってことになるから利子を回収に来たってわけだ。いいんや、長年の退職金のつもりかな。ちゃっかりした魔女だぜ。
Okay, Battler.
バトラ君、今は茶化さない方がいい。
Nah. Battler is correct. Battler made a face to ask, if I can make fun of this, what can I make fun of? At the same time, some of the adults' faces were pale, while others look completely shocked.
これだけをお聞きならば、皆様は金蔵様のことをなんと無慈悲なのかとお嘆きにもなられるでしょう。しかし金蔵様は皆様に富と名誉を残す機会を設けるため、特別な条項を追加されました。その条項が満たされた時に限り、私は黄金と利子を回収する権利を永遠に失います。
Man, I'm just here bopping to the music.
特別な条項？
それは何よ？
特別条項。
Oh, this is important.
契約終了時にベアトリーチェは黄金と利子を回収する権利を持つ。
So the culprit has the right to collect the gold and has the right to collect everything.
ただし、隠された契約の黄金を暴いた者が現れた時、ベアトリーチェはこの権利をすべて永遠に放棄しなければならない。
If this letter is written by Kinzo himself, then he knows one of the siblings already found the gold, and he is calling that sibling Beatrice, and he says that the others need to find the gold, and that will irritate the culprit who already found it, one of the siblings, and then the murders will start occurring. That's the culprit will follow exactly as the epitaph says, and is going to be gouging and killing people. That following the modus operandi that was set, so they can blame it all on a witch. That's what I've learned from 500 episodes of Detective Conan.
利子の回収はこれより行いますが、もし皆様のうちの誰か一人でも特別条項を満たせたなら、すでに回収した分も含めて全てお返しいたします。なお、回収の手始めとしてすでに後ろ宮本家の家督を受け継いだことを示す後ろ宮家当主の指輪をお預かりさせていただきました。封印のろうそくにてそれをどうかご確認くださいませ。
これがそうだというのか。親父が指輪を手放すなどありえん。
Ross was staring at the silhouettes as though he was trying to burn a hole through it. I mean, necessarily they don't need to collect the ring. If you think about it, if Kinzo had already written the letter previously, he did. Nobody needs to find the ring afterwards. This could be a ploy by Kinzo. Eva and Rudolph were doing the same over his shoulder.
確かにチェスの時、金蔵さんの指に何か足りんような違和感は感じ取りました。
南條先生、おぼろげな記憶でいい加減なことを言わないように。その心眼をここでは測れないわ。本当に指輪をお父様は確かに手渡したのか、この手紙が本当の話かどうかはお父様に直接確認すればいいだけの話じゃない。
And he's going to be dead by the time you arrive there.
そうね。桐江さんの言う通りだわ。
果たして金蔵さんがそれを答えてくれますかな。あの人のお考えは時に人の世の常識では測りかねますからな。
どのみちざれ言の息を出んね。第一、黄金幻想自体が親父殿のまやかしだ。ありもしない黄金の話を始めるのはお前たちだけで十分だ。
As I said before, even if the gold isn't true, it is still a motive for murder. As I said before, it doesn't need to exist. The idea of it is already enough.
でも魔女様はおっしゃってるわよ。黄金を見つけた者に家督とすべての財産を引き渡すってね。
Oh, Eva, Eva's kind of excited about it.
つまりベアトリーチェ様は、お父様の顧問弁護士もしくは金庫番でもあられるってことじゃないのかしら。
As I said, the most probable ones are Ava, Rudolph, or Rosa right now.
このような怪しげな文章を子供に託すような怪人物を信用することなどできません。
兄貴、腹を割ってもらうぜ。兄貴の知らない人物が親父の財産管理をしてるようなことはあり得るのか？
Oh, they are excited about this.
いや、それはない。
Oh,
私は当主代行として親父殿のすべての財産を把握している。
Beatrice knows more.
私に知られずにそれらを自由にできる人間はいないはずだ。
The culprit knows how.
じゃあつまりクラウス兄さんの把握していない財産ってことじゃないの？
The gold.
バカな！そんなものあるわけがない。
あるわよ。
Oh, Ava.
兄さんが把握していない。そんなものあるわけがありません。あるわよ。兄さんが把握していないお父様の資産。
いや、あるで。それがお父さんの、いや、ベアトリーチェの隠し応募や。
I'll see how he says no. Beatrice's in gold, almost as if saying that the gold belongs to Beatrice. The gold belongs to the culprit. The culprit is one of the siblings, and it's probably Eva.
話を整頓しよう。つまり親父には兄貴も知らない腹心がいた。そしてそいつはずっと黄金の番と運用を任されてきたわけだ。あるいは悪魔の契約まがいのルールで融資した構図家の大富豪か。
It doesn't need to be someone managing the gold. I think this is all a fabrication by Kinzo to make the culprit desperate. Calling the culprit Beatrice. Making the culprit desperate. So that he can draw them out. But thinking he's all safe and sound on his room. However, I think the culprit has some accomplices like in Genji or Nanjo, maybe even Kanon, and they are poisoning Kinzo so he dies, and Nanjo can declare a natural death afterwards. So basically this is like the last letter of challenge to the culprit, known as Beatrice. So Beatrice is an imaginary name, and it refers to one of the siblings. That's my theory for now.
その腹心のベアトリーチェさんは自分の黄金を融資する相手として息子兄弟の誰がふさわしいか試したいということなのかしら。
Kyrie said something that all the siblings want to clarify. So if the other siblings search for the gold, the culprit is going to get antsy, going to get mad, and going to commit more murders instead of only Kinzo. Maybe their plan crosses death as well. If Cross isn't the culprit, of course. Upon reflection, they realized that during the time Kinzo's strange epitaph had been displayed in the hall beneath the portrait of the witch, they had always whispered that the one who solved the puzzle will receive everything, yet no one else had ever clearly stated it. Wasn't the portrait put there 2 years ago? It was just something that everyone had hoped it might be true. That had right there, right now, been clearly expressed by Beatrice's letter. It clearly specified everything of the Ushurmiya family would be given to the one who found the gold.
黄金の隠し場所については、すでに金蔵様が私の肖像画の下に碑文にて公示されております。
A round of applause for Maria's voice actress.
条件は、碑文を読むことができる者すべてに公平に。黄金を暴けたなら、私はすべてをお返しするでしょう。
Is she being possessed by something? Because she had speech problems earlier on.
それではどうか今宵を、金蔵様との知恵比べにて、存分にお楽しみくださいませ。
And now she's speaking complicated words and very politely.
今宵が知的かつ優雅な夜になるよう、心よりお祈りいたしております。
Yeah, very politely.
黄金のベアトリーチェ。
Beatrice the Golden.
お父さん、聞こえているはずです。
He's already dead. And he was the one who wrote the letter and delivered to her not this day, but beforehand.
返事をしてください。
Along with the umbrella as well. The door to Kinzo's study was being violently beating against over and over again like a percussion instrument. Screams coming from the other side were Cross's, Rudolph's, and sometimes Eva's voices. It was the siblings who were trying to intrude upon Kinzo's study to question him about the truth behind the mysterious letter. He's still alive! Oh wow! Kinzo was still eating. An elegant tablecloth was set over the desk, and a fabulous dinner that had colored the table down in the dining hall was once again laid out. Kinzo continued his meal in silence. Shannon, taking away an empty plate, looked uncomfortably between the door being beaten on and Kinzo's face.
皆さんがお呼びですが、いかがいたしますか?
Shannon is here. So all his servants can enter the room. But none of the siblings or his family.
神と我が晩餐は沈黙を尊ぶ。
黙らせますか。
必要ない。我が耳には届いておらぬ。
Kinzo coolly tasted his food. Genji quietly lowered his head and took a single step back. As he did, Kanon, who stood in reserve like a shadow behind, to the side of Genji, opened his mouth.
マリア様がベアトリーチェ様より手紙を受け取られたとのことで、その真偽を確かめたいのでしょう。
Kanon is always spying for Kinzo.
あやつめ、早速始めおったか。
I thought it was you. Is it not you? I thought it was you who wrote the letter. Did someone really pick up the ring?
さあ、ベアトリーチェ、かけるコインに不足はあるまい。存分に今宵を楽しもうではないか。負ける気はないぞ。
Yeah. So this is a game between Kinzo and the culprit, who is one of the siblings.
お前の微笑みは永遠に私のものだ。
Though Kinzo is completely insane.
もう一度見られるなら、富も名誉も我が命すらも惜しくはない。さて、ルーレットは回り始めた。ボールはどのポケットに落ちるのか。ノワールか、ルージュか、それとも親の総取りか。さあ始めるがいい、ベアトリーチェ。私が再びお前に奇跡の力というものを見せてやる。
gonna die, man. I'm still the belief that he's going to die. Oh man, that was long. So I guess this is it for now. Let's see the characters now. So we have, let's see. As I said before, one of the siblings. These 6 could be the culprit. Maybe George, but I don't think so. Let me say my conclusions now. There's the theory I have passed that Kinzo or Rosa was the one that gave Maria the letter, and the umbrella. But there's one more suspect. As we know that Shannon and Kumasawa have their alibis. Goda doesn't have an alibi. Nanjo and Kinzo have an alibi for today. The siblings all have alibis. Maybe Rosa could have delivered today still. Maybe she stormed out and returned dressed as Beatrice and gave the letter to her daughter. Natsuhi is also a suspect because she was in her room. Nobody could verify where she was. The siblings are out because they were together in the guest house. And then we have Kanon, who arrived and asked for Maria. He said he didn't saw her, but I'm suspecting him as well. So right now, the ones who could have delivered the letter to Maria were, today at least, were either Kanon, Rosa, Natsuhi, and that's it. Maybe Kumasawa and Shannon are in cahoots and Shannon delivered the letter, but I don't think so. Shannon will be the one to die after all. And any one of them could have... and only Kinzo could have delivered the letter. Kinzo or Genji could have delivered the letter if it wasn't today. So maybe last year's gathering, maybe Genji or Kinzo gave the letter. Those are the only likely suspects if it wasn't today. So yeah, I can only see Natsuhi, Rosa, or Kanon delivering the letter. Because I think Kanon's story is a bit suspicious. He ran towards the garden and didn't see her, and then immediately asked. But I mean, we saw his internal monologue, so maybe he's innocent as well. The ones we didn't explicitly see was Rosa. Rosa had an inner monologue earlier on, but it wasn't about the letter or anything concerning. She was just sleeping, and then, oh, Maria is there in the rain. Oh my gosh, how could I be such a bad mother and stuff. So that's a bit suspicious as well. Then we have Natsuhi, who was in her room the whole time, supposedly. So now let's rank the characters. Maria had her first weird moment. I suspect she will enter that, how do you say it, that state where she can speak clearly and is fluent and knows how to speak everything, that she's like possessed or something. She's still at number 1. She's my favorite character thus far. Every time she speaks, I'm really happy. So her voice actress was amazing as well. Again, on the second spot, hanging there very strongly is Battler. He's amazing. And there's nothing I can say. Who should I put next? Either Natsuhi or Rudolph. Natsuhi didn't have that much screen time today, so I guess Rudolph. Rudolph is nice. His voice actor is so good. Natsuhi, really good. Really love her. What next? Maybe Kanon. Kanon is really, really great. He's been consistently great thus far. What else? Maybe Kyrie. Kyrie has been a dark horse. She's climbing up and up. I don't know where she'll place. I mean, I'm only waiting for more screen time for her. Then Ava climbed. I'm really getting used to her and really, really, really like her. Right now. What next? Can throw in Shannon. Shannon has the problem of being that meek servant girl. And she's like literal waifu bait. I shouldn't say it like that, but I don't really like shy characters as much. They're not my... I don't know. I need to see more of her. Maybe she has more stubborn, more willful side to her later on. Then I guess we could throw in Hideyoshi. He's the same. He's the same. Then we throw in Cross. No. Let's throw in Rosa. Because I really like her voice actress, and I really like her placement in the story, I guess, right now. She's still abusive. She still hates her daughter, I think. But at least she apologized this episode, so I won't be too harsh for now. If she starts beating up Maria again, then that's over. Then I guess Cross next. He's still a slimy bastard, so I don't know what to say. And finally, I guess Kumasawa. Kumasawa. The older servants are not very entertaining. They don't have entertaining personalities, I guess. Kumasawa has the best personality out of them. So she gets this place because she's the gossiper, so there's not much to tell here. Guess she's really emotionally mature. She knows what's going on. She sympathizes with people, so she's great. But she's not as entertaining as the family itself. Then I guess we can throw in Genji. He's been showing up to be more of a silent badass than anything else. And then finally we go to the hated cousins right now. Starting with Jessica, as I said before, she really fell down last episode because I hate... it's hard to say this, but I hate bystanders more than the bully. Can you understand that? I hate the bystanders more than the bully himself. So Rosa is an absolutely toxic person, but Jessica just stood by. And if I hate bystanders more, I hate people who rationalize things even more. And George, he rationalized everything and made excuses so they could get away. And I'm still very salty about it. Really, really salty. Then I guess Nanjo, he's a nothing character. There's not much here, I guess. He's as bland as they come, I guess. Then go to Toshiro. He's creepy as hell. I still don't... I mean... I don't know... I think he's more earnest than I think he is, but he's still creepy. Not in oh, he's going to be the murderer, but in oh, this guy just has a creepy look to him. But I guess he's earnest and probably innocent. I don't know. Maybe not. Because I think the two main accomplices are going to be Nanjo or Genji. I don't know what role will go to play. I can put Kanon in the suspects as well. So suspects here are Kanon, maybe Kumasawa. Renoi, Genji, and Nanjo, I think, are a clinch. And the main culprits are either Rosa, either Rudolph, either Natsuhi. Natsuhi could be an accomplice, actually. Or Kinzo could be the main culprit as well. Either Ava as well. I don't know. These three are the main suspects to be the murderer. Because I think one of these three already found the gold. That's what I think. And then finally finishing the rankings, and then Kinzo at the bottom. I still dislike him. Her asthma will play a part later on. She's just too much main character material with this kind of disposition, I guess, this kind of description. She's the main character material, as well as Battler, as well as Maria, as well as Kanon. Could it be? Yeah, I don't know. My theories are still developing right now, but I guess I have a good foundation of where to go. And I guess that's that.